that was the beauty of E. I still get people coming up to me today talking about how much they loved E during that time because we were so different from Entertainment Tonight and Access Hollywood, even the red carpet stuff, and that's nice because we were just having fun, which is what television is supposed to be, and which is the reason we all got into this. But I think it was that event in Spain that we all came together kind of as the Wild On tribe and as the franchise kind of branched out, and we would do 3 or 4 episodes at one time, regardless of who your producer was or who you were co-hosting with. You always knew you were going to be taken care of, not only on camera, but I think as Brooke learned on that episode, you'd be taken care of off camera as well.
Yeah. And I have to give a credit to you also to loosen me up there because it was as I said earlier, it was great that you helped kind of shepherd Brooke into this world. But as you mentioned, we'll go to these places and you have a local crew sometimes. They don't necessarily speak English, so it's hard to communicate with. I remember being in like Prague and like the cameramen would, or maybe when you're in Russia, they would just drink beer during the day. That would be unthinkable for a United States crew. Like, hey, buddy, you can't do that. You're off the show. And I remember kind of judging Pepe as like, this guy is smoking just going to get a microphone. He lights up a cigarette and we have to wait on him. And so I started getting annoyed by Pepe. And I think it was just like, I got a show to put together here. And we're like on, Spain time, right? He's on a siesta, it seems like, all the time. But he was a hard worker and he worked. And you broke the ice with Pepe, and you decided this guy's a rock star. And he looked like a Spanish Don Knotts. I remember it's kind of like... And so I was like silently judging Pepe, and you're like, Pepe is the man. And so you start singing Backstreet Boys with him, and now I'm getting drunk with Pepe, and I'm like, I love you, Pepe, and I had my arm around him. And things are so smooth after that because you helped me not take myself so seriously and have fun with the crew and let them work on their terms, and they'll work better because of it, because of the local customs. And you really helped me with that. And I always took that lesson for future shoots in other countries, the other Pepes.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know if word of this story ever got back to you guys. I've told several Wild On folks over the years, but about 10 years ago, I was on Cape Cod. It was late spring, and there was a big charity event in Provincetown, and Anthony Bourdain was the guest of honor. And I became a huge Anthony Bourdain fan. Wild On really lit my sense of wanderlust, as I'm sure it did in all of you guys as well. And so when I had the opportunity to get 3 minutes with Anthony Bourdain, I told him how much I appreciated his work and introducing us to not only new places, but new cultures, and really getting in there and speaking to the people and learning about the food and the history of the food and the significance of everything that happens in these beautiful cities around the world. And I told him I had the opportunity to work on a travel show many years ago, and he asked what it was called. And I told him it was called Wild On the E! Entertainment Network. And he was familiar with it. And he said, what I liked about that show is he said, none of you did cookie cutter shoots. None of you got out there and just said, here's a beautiful waterfall. It's 42 feet tall and the pressure per pound of the water square inch. He said there was nothing cookie cutter about that. And I really enjoyed that. And I took that as a huge compliment because I think in the back of our minds, subconsciously, we were all very much aware of the fact that we were being seen in all these different countries, and we wanted to do something cool. But that meant a lot because I think that's what set us apart in every aspect of E's programming.